you know, silly if I don't take that opportunity to go out there and do that. There's a three-point line there for a reason, use it. They were falling more often than not that night, so yeah, it was fun. For me, it was the best situation I could have gone into. You know, not only did I have the first player I looked up to when I started playing basketball in Tim Duncan, but I had our national team coach there in Brownie, and then I had Paddy as well. So, you know, I had a lot of familiarity with the guys there, and you know, Brownie being the national coach, we ran a bit of the system anyway, so I already had a basic understanding of that, which was kind of a good leg up. Don't understand how special it is. Initially, you're kind of excited to be playing with a mate, but then when you actually sit back and think about it, you know, Paddy and I used to share the top level of resis down at the Institute of Sport together, so you know, long history and being around each other for a long time, let alone going into the NBA for the first time for me, and I get to be on a team with him, and you know, what better way to culminate that experience than being able to win a championship with him as well, so.
Check it out.
I'm contemplating and chasing, handling biz right now. We never waiting and patient, jumping at the crib right now.
As hard as it was, as soon as I got that offer from Van Gundy, you know, I got a few calls from a number of the assistants and people around San Antonio pretty much, you know, kicking me out the door. I'm you know, silly if I don't take that opportunity to go out there and do that. You know, that's what we worked for in the NBA, and it was just one of those things that is just, that's San Antonio, right? As soon as you're part of the team, you're part of the family, and they all want the best for you. Everyone's heard about Van Gundy, everyone's seen Van Gundy walking up and down the sidelines, jacket off, throwing that, you know, undoing the tie midway through a game and going nuts and crazy, and you're like, is he really like that? And during the season, he is definitely like that. So, you know, I was fine with it because Stan would get a little emotional, but I was always able to listen to the message and not the words or how they were put over. So, you know, I was able to look past that. Yeah, you know, one of those great things, just being able to talk with Brad about basketball. You know, that was probably the biggest impact he had on me as a player, and in my time within basketball was he really emphasized to every single player that goes through that program to become a better student of the game, and you know, talking with him and just his understanding of how to watch film and how he'd get you to see the games and break down film. It makes you a better basketball player, and makes you a lot better scout as well to play against different guys. So. Early on in the preseason, Brad came in and he was watching me at the end of practice, and he's like, why aren't you shooting that in the game? If you're out there, that's the best thing for the team, is I need you to shoot that, and it'll give everyone else space, and you're probably going to knock them down more often than not. So, you know, having that confidence from the coach in you as well, it gives you a bit more of a green light, and you feel like you're doing a disservice to the team if you don't shoot them. So I started shooting a couple, but I'd still pass some up, and then probably 2 months into the season, he came down and all he said to me was, there's a three-point line there for a reason, use it. And as soon as you got the confidence of your coach and your GM, you're not really worried about not playing if you shoot, and you're not really worried about getting traded if you don't shoot. So, you know, it's kind of one of these things that I'm gonna just let it fly from that point, and I've never looked back since.
And speaking of letting it fly, does the date March 6th, 2020 mean anything to you?
Mate, a week before COVID, right? That's it. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, but you also did score 37 points. Let me get this right, 9 3-pointers. They're both career highs, 16 rebounds. And you put yourself in some pretty esteemed company alongside James Harden, the only two players in NBA history to do that. Take me back to that night and what was going through your head as you were getting those shots up.
Honestly, it was just fun. Yeah, it was one of those things. I've always enjoyed playing against Portland. You know, from the time in San Antonio for our first title run to every time since, it's always fun playing against Dame, and you know what he's contributed to the game, and you know what he brings to the game. So it's always something else going out there and getting to play against guys like that, and so easy to get up for those games. And it was just one of those nights where they were committing a lot to Book, and Book is the first guy willing to pass up a shot for success of the group. And so it's one of those things that he just kept giving me wide open shots, and they were falling more often than not that night. So yeah, it was fun. It was entertaining, and just a lot of support from all the guys. Everyone was trying to keep getting me the ball. So yeah, it was a fun night.